Let's face it, as a filmmaker, your creative vision is sometimes compromised by technical limitations. Exposed for highlights, you miss details in the shadows. Exposed for shadows, and you miss what's happening in the highlights. Fortunately, recent technological advances in HDR motion imaging allow you to have your highlights and your shadow details too. High dynamic range entails cutting-edge technologies that extend the video camera's capability to capture greater scene contrast range and richer colors. Simultaneously, new video display technologies utilize the enhanced image capture to increase the portrayal of details in both highlight and dark portions of a given scene, making images more rich and true to life. At its essence, HDR's purpose is to achieve a portrayal of video motion imaging that matches or exceeds the steady-state dynamic range of our human visual system. Our eyes have a wide, steady-state dynamic range of approximately 6,000 to 1 that adjusts to particular scene environments. Over many decades, motion picture film was always close to achieving HDR imaging. It captured highlight details beautifully and was reasonably adept at showing details in the shadows. Unfortunately, the audience couldn't view the detail of film because TVs and projectors just weren't up to the challenge. Naturally, this left artists like you dismayed. With the advent of digital video, the ability to capture deep shadowed scene detail soon eclipsed that of motion picture film. But reproduction of highlight detail proved elusive. Until a few years ago, 8 to 10 stops were about all that could be digitally captured. But because TVs still couldn't display the difference, shooting in HDR wasn't critical. Now, HDR technology in lenses, camera image sensors, and associated digital processing is quickly becoming the priority. Over the past 5 years, dramatic technological advances have also propelled TV displays to higher levels of dynamic range. To direct these advancements, the industry has created a blueprint for HDR displays that anticipates progressive extension of display capabilities in the coming years. For the first time in history, we can shoot HDR, view HDR on set, and edit HDR, and consumers will be stunned by this imagery in their homes. High dynamic range technologies are giving filmmakers, like you, unprecedented creative flexibilities that can enrich your storytelling. So, whether watching in theaters or at home from their living room recliners, your audience can finally see your masterpiece the way it was meant to be seen. Brighter, with greater contrast, and more colorfully. With HDR, the future is now.